At Swiftwater, one of my jobs is to keep an eye on the market and constantly evaluate products for us to install for our customers. And I've been looking at inverters for a long time. So I've been doing this for about 15 years. I remember when all we had was string inverters, and I remember when microinverters first showed up on the scene. And at the time, I wasn't a fan, just because 10 years ago or whenever they showed up, their reliability was relatively low compared to string inverters. But now the reliability has increased to the point where they're comparable. So of course, with the changes in rapid shutdown for utilities in most districts, we have all moved to microinverters. And among microinverters, we have a lot of choices, not just with microinverters, but also using optimizer systems. So after examining a lot of different options, I landed on APS for a couple of reasons. So number one is they are comparable to most other products that I'm aware of in reliability. They have a sub 1% unit failure rate, which is great. But even better than that, they have a 2-to-1 architecture. So 2 solar panels hook into 1 microinverter. And for us, we realized that means that in the unlikely event there is a failure, we're going to have half as many because we have half the equipment on the roof. So that's a big deal for us and for our customers. The other big advantage of the 2-to-1 architecture is because you have half the amount of equipment on the roof, your cost is lower. And one of the things that has been bothering me for the last 5 years probably is that microinverters overall seem to be creeping up to the point where they're more than our solar panels, which offends me historically. So now I have fully switched over to APS, and so far it's been a great experience for us. It really helped because APS extended the warranty to be comparable to other microinverter options. So now there's no good reason for anybody to prefer another microinverter from us as long as we do a proper job in education. Most people in my market have at one point or another dealt with SolarEdge, which was a great product, and then started having reliability issues. And that pushed us away from optimizer systems and toward microinverters. And in microinverters, we have 2 choices that I think are relevant here. One is Enphase and one is APS. So they're both good products. They both have good reliability, low failure rates, high efficiency. All that stuff is very similar. What APS has in this case is half the amount of equipment to be installed. So not only does that mean we can install it a little faster, but it also means now an inverter system is less than a solar panel for all the associated parts and pieces on a per watt basis. So that saves us money, which means we also get to save our customers money. And it also means that you have half the opportunity for the system, for any part of that system to fail, because you have half the number of components to fail. So a lot of really big advantages for us and for our customers in this case. We were early adopters of APS microinverters in our market. And since then, we've seen a lot of other installers start to follow suit. So now, more than 3/4 of the time, it seems like when we are in competition with another installer for somebody's business, they are also quoting APS. And that makes me feel better about my choice. But so far, with a couple of years of installs under my belt, with the APS product, I've had no regrets. It's all worked out great.